Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. Dynamic change in the history of Eternum last night as the forces of HBM capture the northern observation posts of Morningdale. KOTT News were on the scene and caught up with company leadership to get their reactions to their rapid victory. Congratulations on your rapid victory on one of the island's strongest syndicate powerhouses. Would you care to take us through how you were able to defeat them in such rapid fashion?
Well, it was an interesting war for sure. We flooded out the gates, weapons in hand. We had our strategies ready, and we were sure that no matter what the outcome of the fight was, we were sure that it was going to be a battle for the history books. As we poured out of the gates, though, we witnessed something we only witnessed in our nightmares. As we saw about 10 people jump off of the walls of the Morningdale fort. We thought for certain that it was some sort of bluff, that surely they were just trying to bait us into getting our guards down so that they could really hit us, but fortunately it seemed they just were not able to be there. Not sure if maybe there was some perhaps recruiting issues, maybe their soldiers are on strike, maybe there's some unfair pay going on behind the scenes, but all I know is that we did not witness an army out there.
Well, perhaps they already departed. I understand that they were making arrangements to head into Even Grove and possibly stabilize that region and colonize there. So maybe they already departed for the area. But nevertheless, now you are in charge of the hamlet and indeed the region. Congratulations on your victory. What are your intentions now that you are in charge and responsible for the region?
Well, of course we want to make sure that the region runs smoothly. We want to make sure that people are able to enjoy all the various things that they can enjoy at other settlements. You know, we want to make sure people have the buildings they need to craft. We want to make sure that they have their buffs available to roll their biss. And of course, we want to make sure that the staple of the town, the real crown jewel of Morningdale, we want to make sure that hot tub will always be heated to a perfect 105 degrees.
Oh, I'm very happy to hear that you're going to be taking care of the plumbing here to make sure that everybody is comfortable in the hot tub.
Of course, of course.
And I'm sure all of the citizens will be quite glad to hear that all of the stations will be at top-tier management. And I'm sure, and along those same lines, that the Invasion Response Squad will be glad to know that you will keep all of the guns and horns properly situated so that they'll be able to defend against all of the corruption invasions that might occur during the weeks.
Of course, we've been made quite aware of the threat that the corrupted pose. From what we've heard, they seem to be quite a lot stronger since the last time we held territory on this island, so we've been gearing up. We're ready.
Well, one other civic matter I'd like to ask you about. There's been an egg smuggling operation ongoing from the region of Brimstone and has expanded here into Morningdale. They tend to circle north and south of the town. Will you be sending your armies out to try to prevent them from bringing these giant worm eggs out into the region? It could destroy the island if left unchecked.
Egg smuggling. Now this is something new. I can't say I've been informed of this threat before, but nevertheless, we always have soldiers on standby, and I'm sure we'll be able to keep the threat at bay.
Earlier in Reekwater, KOTT News caught up with Outcast leadership to discuss their close calls inside the fort. Congratulations on your victory here in Reekwater. They were able to get into the fort, but through diligent choke management and efficient use of respawn management, you were able to keep them off the flag. Would you care to take us through some of those pivotal close moments?
Yeah, it was a fantastic war, man. Shout out to Fresh Bench right there on that sea point. They had a good wrap. The respawns came, pinched our backline. That's some top tier stuff, and they got the better of us. You know, took us to fort. Fort was a little chaotic. You know, unfortunately, we had some Make-A-Wish children on the roster today. So it ended up being more chaotic than it needed to be, but that was a good thing because it was a banger war, and I'm glad it happened. So shout out Fresh Bench for the good content. Thank you guys.
Well, that was noble of you as a Covenant member to bring on those Make-A-Wish kids to show them what it's like out there. I understand that you had about 6 gates go back up during the fort phase. Anybody out there you might want to shout out for that?
Yeah, Panda Uchiha. I don't know if he repaired a gate, but him being out there, his presence provided might the entire army and made them believe, right? So just his entire presence is what changes the tide of wars, you know? So shout out Panda Uchiha. He's the greatest, as you already know.
Indeed, I know how inspirational he can be. And speaking of inspiring, will you be heading out and trying to expand your empire any further beyond the marshes of Reekwater here on the East Coast? I know there's a lot of marauders trying to take over the Northeast regions, but what do you think about that?
I'm not too sure about that, but if there's any heading out that I do, I'm heading out to kiss the homies goodnight, you know? That's just the way it is.
Quickly to the weather, and once more the sun will rise and shine for everyone to enjoy the brief reprieve from the night. But even then, it won't be so bad with only a 20% chance of corruption invasion showing up in Morningdale and Monarch's Bluff. No submissions for simulated fantasy combat resolution tonight, brought to you by Peace, but we'll have any late-breaking outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News.